The Frames Per Second podcast.
All right, welcome to another episode of the Frames Per Second podcast. I'm your host for the evening. My name is Mike. Next to me, I have Spike.
What up?
Next to Spike, I have Ken.
Hello.
Next to Ken, I have Rod.
What up, man?
And we are reviewing Companion. This is the newest film that was done by Drew Hancock. It was also directed by Zach Krager, who did Barbarian. I forgot to look up what other thing Drew Hancock has done. So, Go ahead.
I was gonna say I still haven't seen Barbarian.
Oh, Barbarian, I think is great, but it's mixed
Reviews on it?
Yeah,
okay.
Some people think it's great, some people think it's trash.
Okay.
I thought Barbarian was really good. But for this one, I had mentioned in our episode about upcoming films that this was one I was really interested in because, again, the teaser was perfect. It gave you nothing. All I saw was that there was a long shot take and this woman's arm is on fire. I was like, this shit looks fucking amazing. I did not watch the trailers after that, and I'm glad I didn't because apparently they gave the entire fucking movie away. So I'm glad I did not watch any other trailers. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start with you, Spike. We're gonna go briefly around the room and let me know what y'all thought. Spike, what did you think of this movie?
To your point, real quickly of the trailers, I went into this blind. I seen that when you seen about the fire. So it really hit because I could tell something was off with her, but I couldn't tell what.
Same.
And then they kind of did the little sleep thing, and like it was really well done in the sense of the reveal that she was a robot. So I was fucking with this. It was a fun movie. I really liked it.
All right, Ken, do you agree?
Yeah. I enjoyed my time. I like that it was brief, very short, and I think we need more sci-fi stuff. Even though this was, I don't know if people want to classify it as such, but it was close enough for me. I think that with AI and stuff, we're gonna get a lot more stories like that. So it was good to finally get something that that I enjoy. So yeah, I was with it.
Rod, did you dig this?
Yeah, I thought I was gonna be on the island. I didn't know y'all was gonna enjoy it too. I had fun with this.
Yeah.
I didn't see. I wasn't spoiled or anything, so I was like, oh shit! Like when certain things happen, I was like, oh, what the fuck?
Same.
So yeah. I'm again. This is a perfect example why I really don't watch trailers. I don't like to get spoiled. So I had fun with this one. This was a good time.
Facts.
Yeah, I agree. It was cool. I don't think I liked it as much as y'all. There were a couple things where I was like, this is a bit too stupid. Yeah. But yeah, for the most part, it was a cool hour and 35 minute, movie. So it was good. And I really like Sophie Thatcher at this point. And I like Buddy from The Boys. I can't think of his name.
What's she Quaid? Jack Quaid, I think.
Is that his real name? Jack Quaid?
I saw Quaid something. Is he related to
Yes.
Quaid? Oh, okay.
Yes. Yes, Dennis Quaid's kid.
Wow.
Because they were trying to paint him as a Nepo baby at first until they realized that he's actually good.
Oh,
he was the best actor in this film.
Ooh.
Oh,
no.
I think he did a really good job.
Sophie Thatcher was the best.
Where's
She was good. You're right.
Where's she from?
She was in Yellow Jackets.
Oh, see, I still haven't seen that yet.
You saw her in that whack ass Book of Boba Fett that you loved.
What was she playing in Boba Fett?
She was one of. Huh?
She wasn't in.
I was getting there.
I didn't hear you though.
Yeah,
he said heretic, but it's heretic. But
I always get it.
She was a heretic. But yeah, in Book of Boba Fett, she was part of the biker gang. She was one of the moped hipster bikers. Which when I saw her in that, I was like, okay, well, this is kind of weird because she's a bit too good of an actor to be in this bullshit. But yeah, she was also in Heretic, and I think that's where people are really starting to be like, oh, she was
the other girl.
Yeah.
Oh man, I knew she looked familiar, but I just couldn't. I couldn't put my hand on it. But yeah, y'all right.
Yeah, she looks like a fake ass Anna Taylor-Joy sometimes, so I think people kind of get her confused with her.
I can see that.
Nah, she's a really fucking good actress.
She did because she gave off like it was in the beginning before the reveal. She was giving off like some type of weird robot vibe in her acting. That was dope. Yeah, that was real good.
Yeah.
So.
I did want to say one thing, but to your point about you're going to see more of these. That's like a movie similar to this out on Netflix right now, I believe.
I know what you're
with the girl from what's the girl?
It's not Morgan. I just watched it. That's an old movie.
Oh, you just watched it?
I just watched Morgan. It's an old movie. That was HBO Max though.
What is it called? I saw it on Netflix.
I feel like I kind of know what you're
Isn't that movie
talking
Her
about.
like this?
Nah.
I just watched another
Her is
AI
good, though.
movie.
It was about a
girl
house.
Some Fox.
Is that what you're talking about? Where they,
Wait,
where
I
they go
did
in the
watch
house?
that one. Afraid.
I wanna see that
I
one.
watched Afraid.
I want to see that one.
No, you don't,
No,
Spike.
you-
Which one? Which one?
Oh,
Afraid
I
is
thought-
that
I
good.
thought that was
Trash,
gonna
dog.
be-
I didn't finish it. I was like,
Nah, Afraid
and it's
is
rare
good.
for me to not finish a film.
Yeah.
I was like, this is too much.
I went to the movies to see that one. So
Yeah, the preview almost got me.
Oof. Because I want to say Megan Fox is in it.
Yes, that's it.
That's it.
That's not the house one. Megan Fox is yeah, that's
It's
the
on
same
Netflix
film.
right
Yeah.
now, but it looks like that's what it would be. I haven't watched it yet, but it seems like that's what it would be because Megan Fox is an AI robot.
Yes.
What's the
Yeah.
fucking name of the
I thought it was a show, not a movie, but maybe it is a movie. Either way,
Subservience?
yes.
Subservience is what it is. Alice Subservience.
Is it
what
not a
it's called.
show?
I don't know. I thought it was a movie.
series.
I thought it was a movie.
Either way, it looks like doo doo.
Yeah, it's a movie.
I'm not watching this.
It's a movie.
Okay,
It's a movie.
I don't really.
But it
like
got-
Megan
yeah, I
Fox.
haven't watched that one.
It got horrible reviews though. Like so.
So I made the right decision.
I did watch this one.
Is it like this?
Yeah, I did watch this one. Oh yeah, I remember this one. Oh man,
Yeah, some bullshit.
But it's the same concept, right?
it is.
Yeah, yeah.
They're riding off. I mean, this is an age old concept. I mean, they're not
Yeah.
gonna beat Ex Machina, but they keep trying to do this whole AI thing and like, oh my god, it's a robot.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
this-
you can take this all the way back to Blade Runner,
Yeah,
but
this shit was stupid.
Shit, Westworld was like this. That first season, kind of.
yeah, that's the only season I watched.
That was the best one.
You
This
missing
reminded
out,
me
bro.
of Westworld.
But anyway,
But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. That I'm
Yeah,
noticing
I
a
did
lot.
watch that
I'm
one.
noticing a lot of a lot of movies like this.
So it starts off with Iris telling us that there are 2 days that she felt the most alive. The first is the day she met Josh, and the second is the day she killed him. Spike, was this an interesting way to start a movie?
Absolutely, because how did she get to killing him? Like, and she was like a little innocent looking, like just lady. Like I couldn't even picture her like killing him or doing anything violent. So just talking it through with the oranges, and it was also like it was good, but you could tell something was off. And again, I just keep pointing to the review because I love how they did it. But she told the story in a type of way. It was like, what's going on here? But yes, that was a great way to start.
I typically don't like that, Mike. I typically don't like people revealing where we're gonna end up.
Yeah.
But I think they did a good job here. Like with yeah. So, but typically that annoys me. Like, why did you just tell me that? Now I got to go through this whole movie knowing that you're going to do this thing at the end. So it's like you're going to take away the suspense from me. But they found a way to add some suspense in here, even with that reveal.
Ken?
I think knowing what happened, that opening line is really impactful about her feeling alive. You know, they say that there's a thing about like opening sentences in books and stuff like that, like or opening bars and or first lit verses and so on and stuff. So yeah, thinking about it now when Mike read it, I was like, damn, that's a
I just thought
that's a
about
hell
it
of
when
a
you said it.
sentence. Which I didn't even think about at the time, but yeah, I'm kind of with you to a certain degree, Rod. It's just like, okay, well, I already know what's gonna happen here. You know, it's a cool sentence, and the way they did it with him being all goofy. But I was like, man, this guy's always like the victim in something. Like he gets treated so poorly.
Facts.
Yeah, poor.
Yeah. I didn't like it. Didn't like it. Don't think they should have done it. Because now if the majority of the movie he was seen as a good guy, then I would have thought it was fine. Because I would have been like, well, shit, how is she going to get to the point where she has to kill him or wants to kill him? But we realize he's a villain like 20 minutes into the movie. So then for me, the suspense was gone. Because it's like, okay, you're going to kill him. Cool. I think they should have started off by like, there are 2 days that I felt the most alive. The first day is when I met Josh. I'll tell you about the second day later or something like that. And then, because it ends with her saying the same shit.
Same thing over.
So they should have just waited until the end because it was like, there's no suspense as to why you're going to kill Josh. He's a fucking dick. Of course
Right,
you're
but
gonna kill him.
they thought they could create that hook early.
They didn't do
you
it
know.
not for me.
Yeah.
So then it goes to Iris shopping for fruit where she meets Josh. And we see that that's how the two main characters met. Did y'all have any strong opinions about this or can we go to the next scene?
I don't
No
know.
strong opinion.
Cool. So the next scene, we see that this is actually Iris dreaming about how she met Josh. And they're actually driving to a party where they're going to meet up with Josh's friends. And it's a trip that she's afraid of for some reason, which I thought they did this very well because it was like, why is she so nervous about meeting them? But at the party, we meet Kay, Sergey, Patrick, and Eli. Spike, did something stick out to you about any of them? Or how did you feel about these characters?
I felt Sergey was extra, so I was wondering why they put him in as that extra like that, and I seen why. But no, these characters were fine. I liked how they did it with the girl Kat not liking her and not giving a real reason. And then she kind of hinted at it, and when she was talking about her and Sergey's relationship, and she was like, essentially what you are for. So they were dropping little nuggets in there that made it all make sense when the reveal came out, but all the characters were fine. I couldn't tell about the other dude until that reveal came out either. So.
Yeah, I think they were cool. I mean, you have to have a cast of characters. I was really interested and curious to see why she didn't like them, but I think that, you have to create some type of tension. So they wanted to create that for them to be there. Somehow it relate back to why she had to kill him in some kind of way. So I'm thinking about all this stuff as it goes along and just how they're going to play into the bigger, larger story here. With how, with her killing him. Sorry, I'm getting stuck. But yeah, I think they were fine. I think they all served their purpose.
Yeah, I thought the cast was fine. I was more so paying attention to other things, like because how far along were they in a relationship by the time they were heading to this place?
I don't think they say.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Because I was wondering, I thought it was like some time had passed. I was like, why does she still look the same? Like she still got this band on her head, like that she was gonna be in that style the whole time. So I did have that thought, but I still didn't have the thought that's revealed. But I still had a thought of like, yo, why does she still look like that or whatever? But yeah, we met the cast of characters. Yeah, I thought this would end up being interesting. They were interesting enough when we met them.
Before it was real subtle when he was like, what's her name?
The main person,
robot?
Iris.
When he was like Iris awake or whatever.
Or Iris wake up.
Yeah, and then they did it in the car. Like I love how subtly they threw all of that stuff in there.
Yeah, stuff you won't pick up to the next viewing. You're like, oh, that's why he did that. And and they do that again, but we'll get to that part. But they do that again at the next scene too. But
other thing that stuck out to me is that the car was driving itself, so I knew that was probably going to come back around somehow with the electric car. So I
noticed that, but I was just like, man, god damn, all right, bro. Propaganda. Yeah, that's what it felt like. But yeah, so after Eli and actually, let me start here. I did like Kat's conversation with Iris when she said, Iris was like, well, why don't you like me? And Kat was like, well, you make me feel like I'm replaceable. And I was like, oh, what does that mean? Yep. That's interesting. Does she like Josh? Why did she make her? And then I was thinking, okay, Iris is a prostitute. That's what popped into my head. And I was like, Iris is a prostitute and Josh is dating a prostitute. And that's why all of them don't like her. Or like an escort. Like what's the little girl from that movie we just did? With the prostitute?
Oh, with the prostitute.
The A24 film that everybody was freaking out about. We just reviewed it.
Oh,
well, whatever.
That wasn't A24 though, that was Neon. That wasn't A24.
It wasn't A24?
I think that was Neon.
I don't even know what movie you're talking about.
Was you talking about
shit,
so.
with the it don't matter.
Yeah,
forget
on
it.
it.
It's about that, but y'all know what movie I'm talking about. But it reminded me of that.
This was in my top 5.
I thought it was going to be that kind of situation, but yeah. After Eli and Patrick,
Honora.
Yes.
Honora, yes.
That's why I thought, I was like, oh, they don't like her because she's an escort, and then at some point she's gonna bug out and kill everybody or something. But that's not where we went, obviously. But yeah, I can't front. When we meet Eli and Patrick, I was like, they don't even look right together, so something ain't right here. But after Eli and Patrick described
I said you're right. Now that you say that, I didn't even think about that until you just pointed it out. But no way.
That's the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, bruh, nah, nope. One of y'all got to be rich, or y'all gonna have to make a big point about his dick being huge. Other than that, this couple does not make any fucking sense to me at all. But yeah, after they describe how they met, Iris gives a little speech. What did y'all think about Iris's speech where she's talking about how she knew that she loved Josh?
So I thought that was what made the other girl, feel like she was replaceable, because she was so into him and want to love him and want to just be there for him. So I thought that's why that's what made, wasn't that Kat?
Yeah,
that's what made her feel like, well, you make me feel like I'm irreplaceable because you you motherfucking,
Always
you know what I'm
doing
saying,
shit.
Superwoman and
Right.
shit. You know, so that I thought that was an interesting thing because he didn't seem like he treated that well
No.
for her to be saying those things. So yeah.
Did you get the same thing, Ken?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
What did you think of the speech that Iris gave where she was like, so Eli and Patrick were talking about how they met. They gave a story, and then Iris jumps in and she's like, yeah, because you feel like you have this piece of you that you don't even know is broken.
Oh yeah, too.
And then it gets fixed,
Oh, I thought she was talking about her boo.
She was.
She was.
Then yeah, I don't. That's all I got from it.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was sweet. I thought it was such a sweet thing for her
But they
to
didn't
say.
react to it though.
They didn't. That's why I was like, what the fuck is happening here?
Yes,
That was such a sweet thing for her to say about her relationship with Josh, and for all of them to be like,
all of them kind of look like okay,
all right.
and
like,
that's when it's going through your head like, why is it like what are these weird things that
Yes.
happen like this? So yeah,
why is
I
it so
thought-
awkward?
yes,
I thought they just didn't like her. It's
Yeah, but
always-
they had to give me something because
I
they're
know.
like, she didn't do anything. She's being nice. She's being sweet. She's being respectful, but they hate her. So at this point, I still thought she was an escort.
and I'm thinking like those are his friends. Why have they never met? Or like, why is she nervous about spending time with them? And then why are they reacting?
That's
to her
normal
this way?
though.
Yeah, I assumed that they hadn't been together very long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have the thought that Rod had, which is why does she still look like this? This must have been a while. I was just like, they just met a month or two ago.
Okay.
So yeah, so we also get a little information about Kat and that she's dating Sergey, but he's married, which we kind of have to tuck in our back pocket. But this is the main question. Ken, what did you think of this display of white people dancing? I thought this was the real horror of this entire movie.
I like this scene
Oh, Jesus.
because of how awful they looked. I thought about Severance. And
the part.
when he got up and he started doing this little start right
Oh,
there,
yeah.
it reminded me of that what the black guy was doing. Yeah, it seemed like it was just ripped straight out of that little dance movie he did, and then everybody started dancing. But I was looking for like, where's the moves? Like, who's
Bruh.
gonna have the moves, bro?
No one.
Yeah,
No
nobody.
one
did.
had the moves. Even the person of color couldn't
Yeah.
dance. I was
And
like,
what-
this is ridiculous.
And what is her ethnicity?
She's Southeast Asian or South
I
Asian.
thought she was gonna have at least some of them Indian moves, bro. Bro, they get down, bro. You seen them?
Yeah, the wins
Hey
that go
man,
crazy.
they
go crazy at them wins.
dancing their ass. I
Facts.
love watching them dance, bro.
Facts.
So the reaction that you got from Rod, I thought he was going to tell you to stop, but he just adds to the racism. Y'all are fucked up.
That's a
Bro, stop doing
But he's right.
Stop doing
Why does
that.
everything have to be
Stop
racist?
doing that. That's not how all Indian people dance.
It isn't.
that's that Bali type of
Right. Not everybody's Bollywood.
I
I'm
understand
just
that,
saying,
but
stop. Stop.
I just said that they dance really good. I love watching them dance. It's not
Is
Is
for
it-
you to throw some spice into it,
is
some
it-
Indian spice?
is it racist for white people to backhead bounce?
Yeah.
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 I wouldn't take that as
white folks,
racism.
they're just like, oh, you just know that Kenneth Inch guy can dance. Like, they all be like this.
I wouldn't think that
I'm
was
just
racist.
saying.
They
They
be like, bro, that's kind of racist. Stop doing that.
I don't think it's racist.
Bro, there are
Oh,
times when I'm
Jesus.
like, man, I don't know if black folks, bro, because it'll be a competition. With someone, I think it'll be a competition, bro.
Facts.
A dance off.
Oh my God.
That's funny.
I
Y'all are
apologize
foul
to
as hell.
my.
No, don't apologize. Stand on your shit.
Y'all found that offensive.
It's a type of dance. I thought it was.
But yes, to your point, she had none of the moves.
None.
So-
None. She ain't never seen a Bollywood movie in her life. That shit was, I was like, bro,
she hella Americanized.
the finest woman in this whole movie. I was like, bro, you can't do nothing. Nothing.
This scene made me remember why I hate dancing. I hate
I
dancing.
can't dance at all.
I will not. I do anything before I dance, bro. I am not dancing.
I gotta be drunk, and if I'm at a goth club and I'm drunk, I can get down there. But if there's black music playing,
Shit at the golf course, aren't y'all throwing chairs at each other?
what?
And fight each other.
At the golf course. Mosh pit.
Oh my God!
Oh, y'all saw Drake try to do that? The mosh pit?
No
shit?
way.
What? Okay, we'll talk about this after.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it failed miserably. Go ahead, though.
Nobody moshes at goth clubs, Ken.
I don't know. You're racist again.
Anyway, so the next morning, After this is after Josh and Iris fuck, which is another kind of point where he says, "Go to sleep."
And you see, like, it was almost a video camera. Like when they showed him on top of her, like they were showing her view, it was almost like it was a
I
recording.
don't think I caught that.
Yeah, it was almost like a recording that they showed. It was crazy.
Oh wow!
Mm-hmm.
I did not
thought he
catch
was
that.
just being an asshole. When he
I
told
did
her to
too.
go to
He was like,
sleep.
"Just go to sleep." I was like, "Wow."
Yeah, that was like, shit.
He got his and just like rolled over.
Yeah, my
which is
theater was like, well,
normal.
damn, like people was just like, damn, in the theater.
I mean, not every you fuck. Not everybody's trying to hear a whole bunch
She
of talk
was
after
talking a
that.
lot.
She was talking a lot, bro.
But she was being sweet again.
She was
though.
being sweet, but I don't need sweet right now.
I need sleep.
I need sleep. Y'all chill out. If it was the first or second time we fucked, but I'm sure they fucked a lot, and she's, I just love you, and you're just like the perfect man for me. Motherfucker, go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Damn.
Shit. But I thought that scene was actually interesting. But I didn't catch the video camera thing. But yeah, the next morning we see Josh isn't feeling well and he sends Iris to the lake alone, where she comes across Sergey. Sergey comes on to her and she tries to refuse him, but it results in her killing him. Spike, what did you think of this scene?
All of this was great. I was skeptical. Like, even with him sending her to the lake by herself, I'm like, who does that? Like, what's going on? I'm still in that phase of it. And then the whole Sergey coming down and coming on to it. And he said something interesting as far as saying, such and such, it's okay. Such and such said this could happen.
Cat said it's okay.
Cat said it's okay, or whatever it may
And that
be.
this is what you're made for.
And it was great. It was a great scene. All of that and how it played out was perfect. And I was like, oh, everybody made this dude over the top like this, because he would be the type of person that I would think that would try to pull that off too.
Yeah, it was definitely uncomfortable. And as soon as he was like, "Yo, can you put this sunscreen on?" or whatever, I was like, "Oh, you should have refused. Like, you never do that, bro. That's like, But yeah, so you can see where it was going, and I had previewed it with the knife in the pocket and stuff like that. So
Yeah, and it was like, why was that knife in her pocket? But then it all made sense.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, but it was confusing. I'm like, okay, she killed him. I thought she was supposed to kill the guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then him saying that it was okay, I was like, oh, well, since he killed him, she's going to come back and enact revenge on him for even having the nerve to give permission for this other guy to sleep with her without talking to her.
I agree. I also, too, real quick, I was going to say, it made you wonder. That's why I like the beginning. It made you wonder, okay, if she's going to kill him, like Ken said, she going to kill everybody in the house now? Like, because trying to cover up the fact that she kills him. So I thought that was good.
Yeah, that definitely threw me off because we hadn't saw how she killed him. She just walked in the house bloody and shit. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Because it looked creepy the way she came in. Like her whole upper half was just bloody.
Crazy.
Standing there with a knife. So I'm like, I thought she was about to fuck everybody up. I was like, oh shit. The rest of this movie is gonna be them trying to get away from her
like some slasher.
Slasher shit. But when she was just like nervous and like, oh man, I didn't mean to and all that, I was like, oh, what the hell is going on? So yeah, I really like how all of this played out because it really was. It wasn't playing out how I thought it was gonna play out.
Facts.
Yep. I agree 100%. I like how they showed it happening and then they just cut to her being bloody and then they go back later and show what happened. I thought that was really cool way of telling that story. But again, this is why I thought she was a prostitute. I thought that's why he was saying that, but then, or maybe she used to be a prostitute. But because when he said, this is what you're made for, I was like, wow, okay. But yeah, like when she goes back to the house and she's covered in blood, I was like, what did she do to him? God damn. Because all we knew at that point was that he fell and hit his head, right? Or did they show that part?
They didn't show that part.
They didn't show that part.
They didn't even show nothing. They just showed her pushing up on him.
Yeah.
Or him pushing up on her.
I mean, yeah. They showed him pushing up on her.
Yeah. So she comes back to the house. She's frantic. She's covered in blood. And she tells him what happened. And it's here that we find out that she is a robot when Josh tells her to go to sleep. I'll start with you, Spike. Were you surprised by this?
Shocked. Well, not shocked because you said there were clues, but I was really surprised and I thought it was a great reveal. That was one of the best scenes of the movie.
Man, yeah, it definitely got me because, I said this earlier, but I didn't know what the hell I was watching. So I thought it was just going to be a lover kills a lover sort of thing. So when he said it, I was like, what the fuck? So I thought that was dope.
They executed this so well. Like from sound, visual, like the way her eyes rolled back, like all that shit was just like, cause she was in the middle of telling the story or whatever. Cause yeah, he didn't automatically shut her down. He's like, all right, run me through what happened. And so she started running through what happened. And then when she got to a certain part, he's like, shut down. And he's like, oh fuck.
Facts.
Everybody in the theater was like, oh shit. So I was just like, yo, like, yeah. That was amazing.
Great.
That was amazing direction, man. I was not expecting it.
Did y'all see him turn the aggression up on the phone before she left out to go to the lake?
I saw him plug the thing in, but it didn't zoom in on what he was doing.
That he was turning the aggression off.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
But I think we had to figure that out later.
They showed that. Yeah.
But we saw he plugged like a little thumb drive into his phone.
And it was in a suitcase too. I don't know if y'all saw that. But yeah, that shit, man. Yeah.
I agree. This was a great reveal. Apparently in the trailer, they show her eyes white.
Oh man.
And apparently in the poster, which I also luckily didn't see, on one of the posters, her eyes are white. So it's like, why are y'all so against having us watch a movie and see things as surprises?
Yeah.
Why are you so bent on just giving everything away?
Yeah.
Right, that's it.
Like that was I agree with Spike. That was like the biggest shock of the movie. It was like, whoa, what? Actually, not the biggest.
Yeah.
I'll get to that in a minute. But it was a big shock because there was no part of me at all that expected that.
I
Not
didn't
a
either.
single piece of me.
And you know what? I think they did a really good job of making her seem so human.
Yes.
Like even with the imperfections of her teeth, I don't know if y'all realize like her teeth wasn't like super straight, but you
Facts.
think a robot, they would make it.
Make it
I mean, it's a
perfect.
robot, so you think they would make it the teeth like super straight.
You just shitting on Sophie Thatcher.
I'm not, but I
Because
think
I'm sure
that
it's just her teeth.
I'm sure it's just her teeth as
Damn,
well.
right?
But her teeth aren't perfect. It's just not.
It was a good detail.
It was a good
Damn.
detail. Yeah,
I don't
it
know if it was a
was.
detail.
It's just her mouth.
But whether it's just her mouth or not, it could not be her mouth. It could be.
I'm looking
Yeah,
right
it
now.
could
I'm
be.
about to see.
Yeah, you know they do that sometime in movies that they make it.
I don't think
They
did
put a
all
lot of
that,
attention
bro.
on it. They put a lot
on
of
her teeth.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, they were close up in her face.
Yeah, they were really close
I
up in
didn't
her
notice
face.
her damn teeth.
Oh, I
Like
did.
the front too. It's the front too.
Yeah, the
I
front
know
too.
exactly
Yeah,
what
you know
you're
exactly what I'm talking about. Like I thought that
I
was a
noticed
good
that as
detail.
well.
You know, they made it look like she was human. Because I don't remember her teeth like that in Heretic. I don't. I feel like that would have stood out.
Every picture on her Instagram, her mouth is closed. So I'm at the.
Oh, snap. What's her name again?
Sophie Thatcher.
Sophie Thatcher, yeah.
It's Sophie Thatcher teeth.
Google, Google Sophie Thatcher's teeth. I'm sure it'll pop up. But yeah, anyway, did it make sense to y'all that Josh tells Iris the whole story?
No.
This is where I agree. This is where I think the writing started to fall apart a little bit.
What do you mean the whole story?
So when he explains, because he's like, "Oh, I gotta tell her bye."
Mitch. Oh, okay.
So he starts explaining everything to her, and I was just like, "Dude, there's no reason for this."
he was just being a bad person.
But it just didn't even make any sense. Why does he need to tell Iris the entire story when he's about to shut her down?
Okay,
I just didn't need this.
That
And
was
it didn't
for us.
serve the story.
They tried
Because
to do
I
that
think
for
he
the
has
audience.
some sort of attachment to her, though. Even though, like, you know, she was supposed to just be this companion thing. I think he did form some sort of feelings for her.
He did, because he kept saying, "I want to tell her bye."
Yeah.
Which I got that. But okay, Iris, I'm going to tell you, we had you do this, and I did this, and I put this here, and I did this because we all want to do this. It was like, dude, this is very clearly you're just doing this for the audience's benefit. But it was just bad writing. Like, why? I hate when movies do this. If this was a movie made in the 80s where the villain gives the entire villainous story away, fine. But we're in 2025. We don't need you to do this. It was just corny to me.
Yeah, I didn't think it was corny. I mean, because it gave a sense of, because it set up stuff later, right? It sets up her thinking that she's actually real. So it's like, no, you're lying. Like, what are you talking about? Like, no, I have real feelings. I have pain. I have all of these things. He was just like, no, you don't. He's like,
That adds to the bad writing for me.
how?
Because I feel like there should have been a better way to convey that in this story without having Josh be like, well, I'm about to shut her down anyway. I just want to give my last goodbye. But by the way, I'm also going to explain this movie to you real quick.
Because he could have just said goodbye.
Right. He could have just
Yeah.
said, hey, just so you know, you're a robot and, you know, I fell for you, but we need to shut you down because you killed
But he
Sergey.
didn't want to do that though, because he was mad when Kat came in and said, "Just shut her down. What are you doing?" Because he was like, so Kat was a representation of y'all. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like just shut her down.
But it's telling like the whole damn plan.
Right. Which
Is
made
the
no
issue.
sense. It
Yeah,
didn't
'cause
make
he
any
didn't-
sense.
He didn't have to. You're right.
There was no
Because the other guy didn't even know, right?
which guy?
Till they let him in, the couple.
Yeah, neither one of the couple knew.
Yeah.
But it just didn't, there was no logical or even emotional sense to him telling her the entire reason why they were tricking her and why they had her do what she did. It was only so the audience can understand this is what you're doing. We could have got that with you explaining that to Eli.
Yes.
Because if Eli wasn't in on the plan, just tell Eli this shit. When it comes to Iris, you could have still had the emotional, well, I'm telling you that you're a robot. No, I'm not. I have feelings. That I would have been fine with. I just didn't get why you're telling her the fucking story of why you're doing this.
I felt like that brought home the reveal though.
What reveal?
The reveal
Her
that
being
she's
a
a
robot.
robot, because we spent all of this time thinking that she's just a regular person.
Well, the reveal already happened.
yeah,
At this point.
I know the reveal happened, but y'all saying y'all would have been fine with that, just the reveal happened without any backstory of why he even wanted to do this in the
You
first
tuned out
place?
again.
Did I?
Yes, because I just said that it would have made sense if he told that to Eli.
I
'Cause we
heard
would've-
you say that,
Yeah.
but why not?
So we
tell
would have
it
still
to
got the
her?
background. Because
I
you
don't
need
need
to
Are you
know.
talking about the plan for Sergey, or you talking
All
about
of
the
it.
backstory? Okay.
Yeah, because like we would have gotten the backstory when he told Eli. It didn't make any sense for him to tell her.
Do you think they were trying to really show just how evil he
Yeah,
is?
I think you needed that stuff.
That's not evil. That's just stupid.
I agree. I think it's stupid, but I'm trying to think of why they would do that. Because he really was a fucked up evil ass, like,
Yeah, he was-
crazy
he was a piece
motherfucker.
of
I
shit.
think you needed that
But
personally.
piece of
I think I'm with you. I think they could have.
You talking
Use
about the
that
whole
elsewhere.
like him showing the unboxing and setting it up, and
No, that part
You're not
was
talking
fine.
about that, okay.
That part was fine. It was the villainous story. Part.
Yeah, the villain's the monologue.
But you need that in order to keep her story going, her motive going. You need him to reveal that stuff to her, so she'll have in her mind like, no, I don't like for her to still do the stuff that she does later on in the movie. If he never tells her that stuff, you might as well just throw Iris out of the picture now.
yeah,
Not really, because he could still be like, we were using you or whatever.
but he had to hurt her feelings.
Yeah,
He had what?
He had to hurt her feelings
By telling her the whole villain story?
for the movie to work. I think.
He could have told Eli and she could have heard it. She was in the living room. She was right there.
they could have did it that way, but I feel like that would have been the same thing, the same gripe though.
But see, what you're explaining to me now is kind of backing my point up, because for
Okay.
the story itself, it made no sense for him to tell her that. But for the movie,
Okay.
Yeah.
he had to tell her that. What I'm saying is, what makes it bad writing
Okay.
is that they could have figured out a better way
Oh, it was the
for her
execution.
to find out what the story was, what the background was, what the villainous plan was. So if he was telling, like when Eli and Patrick bust in the room and he's like, look, we had Iris go out there and kill Sergey because we want to get this money. And they're, oh shit, well, cut us in, da 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 da. And Iris is hearing it because she's in the living room. I would have found that way more compelling than him walking in the living room, sitting down and being like, hey, I'm going to intentionally hurt your feelings. Because it doesn't really make any sense in the terms of the movie for him to do that.
Did he tell her that though? I
Tell her
thought
what?
did he tell her the plan? I don't remember her telling him the plan in this moment. I think
I'm
she
pretty
found that out
sure.
later.
How would she find it out later?
I thought somebody else. I thought they were talking about it in the woods. I thought the stuff that he was telling her.
Oh yeah,
You know what? You might be right, Rod.
You're right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You might be right.
Yeah.
He only told her that stuff about like her not being real. That's
Yeah.
why I was trying to
Yeah, he only told her stuff about her not
Yeah.
being real. He's like, "What's the weather?" And then she was able to run it off real quick.
Mhm.
And she was like, "Oh shit,
Nope.
I'm not real."
And that was for him to be a
You're
dickhead,
right.
to show him like just him
Yeah.
being a villain, like Ken said.
I still didn't need that either.
You knew he was a dickhead already.
Well, it's just, yeah, again, like, I didn't need him doing any of this. I didn't need him doing
I think
any
it
of
added
it
to his
because
character.
I don't see how.
Because at
Because
first,
what's the purpose of him being an asshole to the robot before he shuts it down?
because
What's the purpose for the film?
he's an asshole.
But that's it.
Yeah, I think
I'm just gonna go be a dick real quick.
Well, I don't think there's a. Is there a purpose to the film? I'm not sure. I think with these type of movies, they just want to show how people just have no empathy or concern for robots. So I think that is probably why they did that.
Yeah, he's just like, you just a fuck bot or something like that.
Right,
he
but what's the
said.
purpose of telling her that? That's what
It hurt her feelings. He's like, see
Right.
that shit.
Yeah,
You
it's
see
not
that?
for her. I
He said
think
that's
it's
just a
for
reservoir
us.
in your body. Say that again.
Yeah, it's not for her. I think it's for us.
It's for, which is, I don't think that's bad writing per se. In this situation, I mean, because you gotta show. I mean, not gotta, but you know what I'm saying. That
It's one of the biggest conversations that come out of these robots. Do robots have feelings? Do robots have pain? Et cetera, et cetera. Do they become humanized and stuff like that?
I feel like this was her gripe throughout the movie.
Well, I think
this
you
why
needed
she
to
turned.
establish-
This is
Yeah, I
why
think
she
you-
turned on him, right?
yeah, because she was like, I still love you.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, it's your programming. It's your programming. Da 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 da. And so, yeah, I feel like you needed this explanation to support what happens later in the film.
I agree.
Personally,
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
yeah.
By the way, when I said you tuned out, that was my Doctor Strange reference. It wasn't a reference to what happened the other week. I wasn't trying to bring that back up. Just to be clear,
Gotcha.
I let that go. I wasn't like trying to drag that back. But now I feel like I can't make that joke anymore.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Anyway, all right. Well, if y'all were cool with it, cool. I thought it was stupid, but that's all right. Was this a stupid ass plan? Let's see what y'all think about this. I'm gonna start with Rod. Was this a dumb ass plan for them to kill Sergey so they can take his cash out the room?
Yeah, I think it was a dumb plan. Okay, to have a robot kill someone to get money.
Well, not to get money specifically, but to get this cash that is in this room.
Yeah,
Was this not okay? I think I'm on the island again. All right.
No, you're not. I thought this. I was wondering how they got there. Like, how would him and Kat even have that conversation?
well, they're friends.
When they were fucking.
Right.
So I got
No, she said that was gross. She
Yeah,
wasn't
I don't
fucking-
think they were fucking.
She said he was gross.
Yeah. They were just friends.
No.
Yeah, they were just friends.
They weren't just friends. Because she was saying how Sergey was using her.
Oh,
you talking about Sergey? I thought you were talking about
I
the
thought you were
dude
talking about the dude, the main guy.
and Kat.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Sorry.
okay.
Okay. No, I know her and Sergey were with Kat and Sergey were fucking, but I'm wondering how the conversation went for one of them to
Oh,
think.
I see what you're saying.
One of them to think this will be a good idea for you to have your robot that you just paid all this money or rent and pay all this money for to go kill this guy and we steal the cash out of his house. And I was so glad when the text came later and said it like, yes, everything is being recorded. Like, duh. Like she would definitely have a database and it would definitely be recorded. And that would be one of the reasons that they sell these things, to steal information and data. So I thought it was a really dumb plan.
It was a good plan, terrible execution.
You can't get away with that. There's no way to get away with it because they're gonna know you modified the bot. They're not supposed to kill people.
You saying they would have known, they would have modified by seeing them turning their aggression up? Yeah, I could see that. Why would you do that? So yeah, ultimately I don't think it would have worked. But I thought that when he was explaining, I was like, damn, that's actually not a bad idea to think about that. And now I'm thinking about I got to think about the dangers of what people can do with these damn robots and programming and coding and stuff like that. But one of the fourth or third law of whatever this robotics thing is, I can't remember, is that phrasing is that these things are not supposed to harm humans. Mm-hmm. Like that is the one thing that they always program in. So even if you turn the aggression all the way up, there is no way this robot was supposed to be able to kill this person. That is a.
But no, he jailbroke.
Right.
Modded it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the text says that when he goes outside.
He said, "Oh yeah, he's
he
fucked.
absolutely modded it."
He's fucked."
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
I still, yeah. But then that brings into the question of like, if you can mod them, then that makes it even more dangerous because robots are not supposed to be able to harm people. Even though in all the movies, the robots eventually end up harming people. But I thought it was a good plan. It made a lot of sense. I just didn't think they went about doing it very, very well.
I think I brought that up when they was talking about like Elon making robots and shit like that. I was like, yo, so if the bot kills somebody, do you get charged for the murder? And so I thought that was an interesting thing that they put in this movie. So I guess he was thinking like he wouldn't get charged for the murder if he had the bot do it.
Yeah. I could easily see them sitting there plotting this whole lot, thinking about it, thinking like, yo, this is perfect. Something went wrong somewhere.
So the reason I think this plan was fucking stupid is because the robot wouldn't take the money. So Sergey's married.
I was going to talk about the end. That as far as her taking the money.
Wait, hold on.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead. I think I missed that
the
part.
whole plan was they're gonna have Iris kill Sergey, and then they're gonna take the 12 million that's in this room. Sergey is already married. We can assume that his wife must know that he has $12 million somewhere. So when they go to this place and they find Sergey's dead, and they blame the robot, and the money's gone, they're gonna be like, well, why would the fucking robot take 12 million? We don't think the robot did it. So I was like, this is a stupid fucking plan.
I don't know if the wife would know.
They said that they were going to blame the theft of the money on the robot?
No, they just said they were going to blame the death.
He said somebody knew the money was there.
They had to.
I don't think so.
So Sergey just had 12. He's married.
Yes.
And he's had 12 million at this house and no one knows.
And a mistress.
The mistress is very easy to hide.
And the money.
12 million?
I think you can hide, if a person of wealth like that could hide 12 million.
Yeah.
He would definitely try to keep that away from his wife.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's
if he has a mistress.
That's why it's in cash.
It's in cash in a hole in the fucking wall of this house.
He definitely wouldn't want his wife to know about that.
Right? Why?
His wife don't know.
Why is it there?
We're never told it's there. We're made to assume that it's there because he's doing crime. But it turns out that no, he's not doing crime. He's just a regular old guy that works for his money. So we don't know why it's there.
He's just a regular guy that works for his money, but he has his fun on the side.
Sure, he has $12 million worth of fun.
Hell yeah.
I don't buy
He
it.
owns the whole island except the water.
I would assume.
Exactly. So she would know that he has a bunch of money.
Right, but not enough to where she care about 12 million. I would assume that if he has enough to stash 12 million, he has a shitload of money. So much money that she
It won't matter.
ain't concerned about whatever else he has stashed away somewhere.
Yeah.
Unless they start
cash.
investigating why he was killed. If they're like, oh, he was killed, we're going to start investigating this. Why is there a safe here? Let's look around. Oh, the safe is empty? Weird.
And then wife,
It was just a dumb thing. It was like, this is the stupidest fucking plan.
Most crimes are stupid.
That doesn't help.
I'm just saying.
I mean, we'll get to the nuts and bolts about
I'm
the
just saying, like, I
investigation
mean,
going on.
you know, it made sense to them in the movie, like, you know.
Yeah, too by that time I would have been long gone. Ain't no way you finding me if I got 12 million.
Oh,
but you had the robot.
Yeah, they're fine.
You rented the robot.
yeah.
And now, as a company, imagine this is fucking
because the
Elon's
company gonna sue him. Yeah,
the company's
they
gonna be in
want to find
trouble
out
if
facts.
they don't figure out why this happened.
Facts.
And they're gonna be like, wait, because of course, immediately they're gonna say, well, he modded the robot. Why did he mod the robot? Oh,
Why did he
there's
want him
money.
killed?
It was just a dumb plan to me. I was like, man, for a pretty cool movie, y'all are putting some really stupid shit in this.
But I think he realized it was stupid once stuff was revealed, like, oh, fuck. Like, that this shit is recorded. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was stupid.
He didn't realize it was stupid until he found out that the recording thing
Until he
was
found
in
out
his
it was
stomach.
stupid. Yeah.
But I was also like, if you are smart enough to hack this robot, you don't know where the fucking memory recording
That's what I was
is?
thinking too. Like he seemed like a robot guy. His
Right.
car was self-driving. Like it
Right.
seems like he would have thought that shit out.
Yeah, I didn't like these holes, y'all. I just didn't like these holes. I know y'all say I'm picky. Or is that what y'all said? I forgot what the word was that y'all used. I didn't like these holes. It was like, this is because it's kind of stupid. This is kind of stupid. Like everybody in this movie is a little bit too stupid.
A little bit.
I like how it played out in the sense of like, why did y'all think? I think as viewers, we're supposed to see it as why did y'all think y'all were going to get away from with this? And then it turned into a shit show.
Yeah.
So I think it was deliberately done.
Yeah, I do think it was deliberately done as well.
Because the more and more the stuff kept happening, you was like, oh my God, bro, this is so
you
dumb.
feel like it's dumb.
Like, this was so dumb.
Why
Why
did
did
y'all
y'all think y'all were
work?
going to do this? So
Yeah. I think it was on purpose.
Because the other part of my thinking this is stupid is why did you invite Eli and Patrick? If you
Alibis, I think, right?
Yeah, they said alibi.
Yeah,
they
said
mentioned
alibi.
that in there. Because
Yeah, he said at first
Eli
we
asked
weren't
like,
gonna
why y'all
involve
tell me
y'all.
to come?
alibi of what?
We needed witness. He said we needed
To
witnesses.
say the robot did it for no reason.
That they were not around and that it was something that happened between them.
Between
the two
Iris
of
and
them.
Sergey. So then they were just hoping that Eli would be stupid enough to be like, oh yeah, the robot just bugged out and killed him.
Yeah.
Because of
And
his sexual advances toward her. So, yeah.
And he offered them money.
Yeah. You would have to assume that the robot would be offended by sexual advances from a human and that is programmed into them.
Enough to kill him.
Enough to kill? Yes. You would have to do that.
See.
He said he worked on it like several times, even the whole knife thing. He said, man, you know how long it took me to work on the whole knife thing?
I thought
So
he
it's like
said-
he had kind of been prepping her for it almost.
Right. But it just, I don't know. I still enjoyed this and I wanted to just go with the story. But the more I thought about it, I was like, none of this makes any sense. This is all stupid.
It made sense for them to think. No, it made sense to have an alibi.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. It made sense to have an alibi. That was a shitty one to me. Let's bring this other couple here.
And offer them money.
And then no, they were never going to offer them money until
But they offered them money.
But they weren't going to offer him money until they figured it out.
they got
Till he
caught.
found out.
They got busted. That's what I was saying. If it was always, I'm going to give you a piece of this money, I'd have been like, okay. But they didn't. They were never planning
That's
to
how the
give him
thing
that
started.
money.
No, remember, because I think the I can't think of her name, but I think she just flipped out and just started going and taking the money out, right, of the safe.
Cat, yeah. She just
Well, that was later. But
That's how she got busted.
they got busted because Eli and Patrick came in the room while Josh and Kat were kind of arguing about it.
Oh, okay.
And then I think she had the thing open, and then they just, like a few minutes prior, they just start spilling the beans about the entire fucking plan. And then Eli was like, basically like, yo, you're going to break me off some of this money?
he's like, we're gonna split it 4 ways.
Yeah, we're going to split it 4 ways. And you're like, wait, what?
No, he
4?
said 3.
He said 4.
Oh, did
Eli said 4.
And then he was like 3 ways.
Right. And that's when we find out that Patrick is another robot, which to me was the most shocking part of the entire film, because I was like, again, no part of me thought Patrick was a fucking robot.
But didn't it make the most sense?
It made
It
a
did
lot.
make now.
So
It's
what
like,
you
okay,
said-
now I see why y'all motherfuckers.
So
are
what you
together.
said earlier, like it's like
Yeah.
I don't see the connection, but then you see like, oh, get it.
I can't believe they got us twice with that
They
shit.
did.
Me
It was
too.
crazy.
I was like, what the fuck?
Me too. Then I started thinking, who else was
Right.
robots? So like,
I did too.
is it one more robot out
You
there?
couldn't have convinced me that
Yeah.
Cat wasn't a robot.
And they tried to make it seem like it at one point. He's like, you can't make me stop or something like that. He's like, stop. He said, stop, Cat. He's like,
Yeah.
look, you can't make me
You
stop.
can't
or
control
you can't
me,
control
right.
me or some shit like that. Yeah, that would have been too much if
Facts.
Cat was too.
Yeah, I think this was just enough.
Just enough.
Just enough.
Because they
Those
still
two
got
was
us.
just enough.
It was like, damn, you too?
Yeah. So Iris, at this point, while they're in there arguing, Iris has escaped. She's grabbed Josh's phone and she turns her intelligence all the way up to 100 and decides that she's going to escape in Josh's car. But this is interrupted by Patrick and Eli, which results in Iris killing Eli. Was this scene cool?
This is good. I'm still bought in at this point as far as she's going to do whatever she needs to do to get out of it. I thought her turning her intelligence up to 100, it was going to go a different way. She was going to turn up to like this Terminator type robot and start like just killing motherfuckers. But I like how they made it an accident. Like she still wasn't really trying to do it until he fell like on top of her with the knife, right? This worked for me too.
Yeah, nah, this was good. It was suspenseful when she turned it up. It was like, man, what the fuck about to happen? Like even out the way they zoomed in on her, like the enlightenment when she turned it up, because he had her at like what 20%, 40%.
She's like, really, Josh?
Yeah, they're right.
Yeah, she was just like, really? And she just turned. And
I
she
mean,
turned that
40's
shit.
not that dumb.
It's not really,
Bro, you don't want
but
to be 40% intelligent.
I don't know. I think most of us are probably 40% intelligent. If we're really being honest.
What they say 100% was like an Ivy League grad?
No, I think.
about
You're right,
Oh,
Spike. You're right. I'm thinking in generalities. You're
Yeah.
right.
yeah, he
If
did say
100
that.
is an Ivy League grad, then yeah, 40 is probably pretty.
Yeah.
40 is probably
I take that back. Y'all are right.
Yeah.
that. I don't want to be 40.
40's like,
People probably think I am.
But I'm at least 52.
right. I think over the last couple of weeks, I probably heard that. They probably got me at 40, 30. Right? Somebody need to come turn me up.
Somebody come get Ken's phone and see what's going on.
what would 40% probably be, like a high school graduate or lower than that probably?
If we're thinking if 100 is an Ivy League grad, 40 is probably like
8th grade,
middle school.
Damn.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
Which speaks to why she was acting like
Yes.
that the whole movie.
Yep.
So it made sense. Yeah, that was good.
Yep.
Yeah, like puppy love and all
Yep.
that type of shit.
And then I like when she turned it up, how she was able to like analyze and think through things. If I do it this way, then this
Yep.
is gonna happen. If I do, that was really
That
good.
was really well done.
Yes.
And that seemed like that said a lot about his character too.
Yeah,
like
he wanted a dumb broke
Right.
fuckbot. That's what he wanted.
I mean,
you can make a correlation between men and
yeah.
women. Yeah.
That's what dudes want. They don't want a smart woman. They want a dumb one that's hot that will fuck them whenever they want.
Yep.
Yeah.
So back at the car, the car is voice controlled. So she uses the phone to pitch shift her voice and escape as Josh is trying to break the window, but Josh reports it stolen after she takes off and the car gets cut off. What did you think of that conversation that her and Josh had over the phone, Rod?
What was the
Where he was like basically trying to convince her to come back, and they said they were going to blame it all on Patrick.
Oh, yeah.
But then she dumps him on the phone.
Right.
He's like,
right.
"Are you breaking up with me?"
Right. Yeah, that shit was funny. It sounded like a breakup over the phone. But her intelligence was at 100% at that point, so she already, she wasn't like gullible and all that shit at that point. So that made sense.
Yeah.
But did we talk about the woods, like how that whole shit played out with him killing is it Eli or not Eli, the boyfriend or whatever?
You
You did it again.
I know we briefly talked about it.
Everybody didn't talk about it. I said something.
You said something. Okay, yeah, that's what I said. Did we briefly talk about it?
Where do you go? I'm curious.
No,
I just want to know where you go.
I heard it. I just know. I don't think we touched on it that much. That's all I'm saying. I know it came up.
I asked, and Spike was the only one that said anything, so I figured maybe y'all just didn't really find that part that interesting.
Well, I was talking about the other stuff. Like, so yeah, I was just trying to go back to it. That's all.
Well, actually,
I didn't go anywhere.
Didn't you say that you thought it was cool that it was an accident, or was that you that said that? That was you that said that?
Yeah.
Okay, what did you think about it?
I was just thinking about the suspense of it all. It was nothing really like that because at this point is where the robot, what's the robot's name? Patrick. He's like in a state of like,
that was crazy.
Yeah, he's like in a state of like shutdown almost because he just lost his lover. So I thought that was interesting because it took them a minute to get him to snap out of it.
Reset. He had to do
they had to reboot him.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that he knew he was a robot.
Oh, that part too. Yes.
Yeah. So I think it was like, look,
so
I wouldn't be with you. Come on, bro.
So we didn't talk about that. That right?
I don't really think it was that much to talk about. But I said something, but nobody. I just didn't think y'all cared that much.
I
was
started
going
somewhere else, and I meant to come back, and that's why I wanted to come back to it because that wasn't impactful.
That's interesting.
Like,
yeah, that is.
Yeah, he was like, no, I knew you was a, I know I'm a robot.
Because she didn't know, maybe because she's a newer model.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
They talked about him being an old model.
He was
Yeah,
an old model.
That's a good point
maybe he
too.
finally figured it out.
Yeah.
Well, he's an old model, and he was supposed to have been turned back in to empathics, and they were supposed to shut him down. But Eli was like, "Nah, I like this one," so he kept it. But yeah, I don't know. I just didn't think y'all were that interested.
They played with the whole premise on again Westworld when they were talking about she didn't know if she was real or fake. And
I don't even remember. One of these days, I'm gonna do like Sopranos.
You don't have to.
No. Well, I heard it was really good. It got bad.
No, it fell off a cliff.
Oh Jesus!
It almost unwatchable. Like I didn't
know that.
Yeah, the first season is the best season by far. The second season almost gets there, but then the third and fourth season was like some of the worst TV I've ever seen.
Okay, well, never mind then.
Jeez, it was
I'm not gonna waste my fucking time.
They brought in the dude from Breaking Bad, Jesse. Oh my God, it was so bad.
Oh God. Well, I will not bother. All right. Well, I was trying to move along because there's a lot here, but we're almost kind of there. All right. So Josh gets Eli's phone and programs Patrick to hunt down Iris. I like this scene a lot, but what did y'all think about how all this went down? You know, the cop showing up, Patrick killing the cop, and then capturing Iris.
So I sort of dozed off at this part. How did the cop figure out what was going on?
He didn't.
He didn't. He just got killed.
He just got fucking punched in the face till he died.
No, he saw Patrick had a gun, I think.
Yeah, he reacted to something. There was a picture of Patrick.
Patrick had a gun. Just walked up and he had a gun in his hand.
Oh, so he was about to turn and shoot Patrick, and she reacted.
Yeah, she tried to run.
Okay. Now this was though he fucked that guy up.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I don't know why she decided to switch to another language.
Because she can't lie. So if the cop was like, "Why are you running?" she would have to tell him. So she switched to like German, so he wouldn't understand it.
I did not.
That was good.
Oh, you didn't catch that?
No.
So that's why this movie was so frustrating for me, because that to me is great writing.
That is. I didn't even fucking.
I was the same
What
way. I was
the
like, why did
fuck?
she do that? But that's perfect.
That is perfect.
Because she a few times in the movie says how she can't lie.
That makes sense.
Because I think they had the titles when she's telling the truth, right?
Right.
God damn it, Mike.
Yeah, that was good. Man.
That's good.
That was a good pull.
That's a good pull for real. Like, that's really good. That's a really good note. Wow. I did not even think about it. The fact that she can't lie. Wow.
And his dumb ass was like, yeah, really, honey?
That was funny to me. That cop, I forget his name, but I've seen him in a few other things. He's pretty good.
No, that was good.
Was Patrick just walking up to him, or did he had a gun? Right?
I'm pretty certain he had the gun in his hand and he was just walking up like
yeah, that
Terminator.
shit was crazy.
And the cop was like, "What the fuck? You need to stop." And he was just. So yeah, I think that's why the cop got spooked. Now, did the cop? I can't remember exactly how this happened. Did the cop actually shoot? No, he didn't. He pointed the gun at him and said, "If you don't stop, I'm going to shoot."
And he took it,
but he didn't. He was like afraid to shoot him, and then Patrick took the gun and just started punching him in the face.
That shit was crazy.
But yeah, that scene was dope.
Then put him in the trunk. Like, that was. What happened to the police? Did they never? Why they never come to the house? Or was that police? They called the police. He was on the phone with the police after they killed Sergio.
Who was on the phone with the police?
Patrick's boyfriend. Because remember, he was trying to tell him that.
That was probably the cop that was on the way.
Okay.
I assume they didn't explain that overly, but I assumed that the cop that stopped Iris was on the way to the house.
Got it. Because it is remote. They said. They said it was like 17 miles before.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it took a while for the cop to get there.
Makes sense.
So Patrick comes back to the house with Iris and the dead cop in the trunk. So Kat is like, "Fuck this shit, I'm out." And she tries to cut and run. Josh tells Patrick to stop her, and Patrick stabs her in the back.
Yeah. Oof.
So what did y'all think about this scene?
I don't know. This is where I'm doing it too much. I was like, why did you say just stop her without killing her?
Give her a direct command.
More
Like,
of a
exactly.
direct command. Like, and why did he immediately just go to murder?
Because his aggression was
Aggression was at
100.
100.
Yeah.
And he an old model, so that mod shit may not have needed to happen for him.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I knew she as soon as you can see Patrick over there chilling. I was like, oh yeah, she about to die. Patrick about to kill her because he's gonna tell her to stop.
Oh, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, she had to die.
I saw it coming. I just didn't love the way it happened. I wish that instead of him just walking up and just stabbing her, when he said, "Patrick, stop her," I wish he would have grabbed her and then her like try to struggle. And then he kind of
accidentally killed her.
Yeah, accidentally killed her, like threw her back or something. But when he just walked up and was like, "All right, bow." It's like, what?
It didn't make much sense to me.
But I also think that goes to, they wanted us to look at this like this was so stupid. As far as the plan and how it was bound to happen. Because everything that could have went wrong. I think we were supposed to look at it as a viewer like, this was a dumb plan from the beginning. You deserve exactly where you're at.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just wish he hadn't just walked up and stabbed her.
I thought that stab was shocking though. I was like, oh shit, he just
It was. It was. I didn't
like,
expect that to happen.
Yeah.
I
I would
just didn't
expect
like
the struggle thing. I would expect the struggle and Thor, she bump her head and then boom.
did, yeah.
But nah, for him to just like take her out like that.
What if he like snapped her? Like, what if he grabbed her by the neck and she was like, "Ah," and he just like, "Blap." I don't know. I'm being picky at this point. I just didn't love the scene.
I wasn't too bad. I mean, it's a logical thing for a robot to do. You know, it's gonna jump to that. Even with the aggression turned up, I don't even think even the aggression was turned down. I think it probably still would have potentially done it because robots just think sort of linearly to a certain degree. Yeah. So stopping for them could mean a couple of different things. But then again, I'm kind of never mind. I take that back because robots not supposed to kill people. So there's another issue with that. So
I think they're not supposed to kill people unless their aggression's turned
and that. But that robot Patrick was a mod. Oh, he modded Patrick too. Never mind.
Yeah, he stuck the little thing in.
He did stick the thing.
He did mod Patrick too.
So
Yep.
All right. Well, what did y'all think about the conversation at the table when Josh and Iris are talking, where he's saying how the world is rigged against guys like him, that he's a nice guy, he deserves more, and she's like, "Nah, you're sad and lonely, and you have a small dick."
White tears, bro.
He sounded like an incel.
Rigged
white
against
boy.
you. I was like, bro, are you serious?
Rigged against.
Like what? Like, bro, you just 6'3" white guy.
Right, with an apartment. I think they were in New York with an apartment in New York, and you're paying for this robot. Like you're not bad off. Bro.
What's rigged against you?
I think he meant, because this is a very common thing that guys say. Not necessarily white guys, not necessarily, good looking white guys. It's just a guy thing where they're like, women don't like nice guys. Women just want the bad guy. He was trying to say that, like, me as a nice guy, the world is rigged against me because, women don't want men like me. That's how I read that.
I don't know, man.
He said he's a nice guy and I deserve more.
So being a nice guy, I decide to kill this guy.
Yes, because I deserve that, because I'm a nice guy and I don't get what I want just from being nice. Guys, like, especially fucking incels, say that shit all the time. I should have the hot chick, but the hot chicks don't like men like me because I'm too nice. They want a bad guy that treats them bad.
So your idea is to steal $12 million.
That was just like a side thing. That wasn't necessarily related to him and Iris. But I think he thinks he deserves more because Sergey, to him, is a bad guy. He's misogynistic. He is clearly cheating on his wife. So he's like,
he thought he was a mobster.
Yeah, and he thought he was a mobster.
Yeah,
So he's like, why should this guy have all of this money and this island? I should have that because I'm nice.
And I'm taking out a bad guy.
Because we don't know what he did. Do we even know what he did for a living?
Yeah, he was a
soil.
Yeah.
something.
No. Not Sergey.
Oh, Josh?
Josh.
I don't
No, I
remember.
don't think he said.
I don't remember.
But you're making a point. It's a lot like he didn't. It at least the appearance that he didn't have money.
Yeah, he had a nice car that drove itself. Like, I broke out here, bro.
And
Like,
then,
stop.
you're in a world where you can buy
Yeah.
the companionship that you want,
That's
and
what
it's
he was
not
saying
enough.
earlier. Yeah,
That shit look expensive. I know them robots ain't cheap.
but I think it's more so what Mike was saying. Just like,
Yeah, I agree with. I
yeah,
agree with
yeah.
Mike.
So Josh turns her intelligence level down to 0, and he makes her test if she can actually feel pain, which leads to that scene in the trailer where she's burning her arm up. Then he makes her shoot herself in the head so he can call empathics and say, Iris did all of this. So I guess we already talked about the scene where empathics shows up, but did anybody have anything else to say about that scene? We already kind of talked on it.
I can't believe, again, it's what goes to my theory. I can't believe that he thought that they were going to bother.
I can't either.
Like, I cannot believe. And I like how the dude recognized the robot. I really like. He was like, "You look familiar." He's like, "Ah, it's one of those faces." Nah, I know you from somewhere.
But he
I
let
like
it
that
go
was really
because
good.
he already knew what was
What
up.
was up?
They
Yeah, I
do it
gotta
all
get
the
up outta
time.
here.
So he didn't think anything of it. Probably thought they were doing role playing. I thought when she shot herself, I thought the parts that came out were really interesting.
That was dope.
And I was wondering because they kind of focused on it, so I'm like, okay, that's supposed to represent like brains or was it supposed to be something else?
I think it was like a misdirection.
Yeah, and then we eventually found out that no, it really wasn't. It was supposed to represent like the ocular part of what she was doing, and that they didn't put the hard drive and stuff like that. I'm with you guys in the sense that you would.
That's a very.
Bro, common people gotta like
finna
think that there has to be something in the fucking cloud. Bro.
That was a very human thing to think too, that it would be in the head. Like from a storage standpoint, it probably would make more sense for it to be somewhere in here.
I think my thing is like, even in our small world, everything is uploaded to the cloud. Why did you not think that why would you not think this would be uploaded to the cloud unless there's some? And then they made a point like you did read the terms of agreement, right?
You seen them just
There's that,
scrolling
but unless there's some privacy thing that explicitly says that none of this stuff will be documented and recorded to the crowd. But corporations tend to do this stuff as a means of protecting themselves from liability if something happens to the robot. So those were the questions I have. Like, bro, like, why would you even think this? That wouldn't be backup somewhere. Redundancy is everything in tech.
Because I don't think people think about it. I don't think people think about that. And I think we had this conversation before, like, is the mic still on? How people don't think about, that shit's going somewhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because we just taking pictures. We recording shit on our phones. Like, we're doing all of this shit on our phones. But like, in the moment, you're not thinking about yo, this shit could be really going somewhere where, you know, like stored in a
Wouldn't
place.
the tech person think that though?
Right.
Think about tech person.
Yeah, forget in the moment. Think about when they went all the way to the beginning of the planning part of it. Those are questions you ask.
Facts.
When
If I'm gonna
him
get
and
my
Cat
robot-
were having that conversation, when they planned this whole thing, are we gonna go get this? Somebody should have asked, well, do we know where if they do backups?
But see, he thought, backups, because I was gonna think he thought it was fried once he shot it and all that. But yeah, you talking about cloud and stuff.
See, I wouldn't even make it all the way to the cloud part. I would be stuck at, okay, you made this plan. You kind of know how robots work enough to hack them. Why would you not know that the drive is in the stomach and not the head? And then you would also have to consider, why would empathics buy that the robot killed itself by shooting itself, in, the head?
I
It was
think
just like,
the
this is
modding
getting
part.
stupid.
I think the modding part is how he was able to rationalize that part and accept that.
But you're not supposed to mod it though.
I know, but
okay.
they do it, so they're used to people doing that. Because he didn't believe it.
Believe what?
He didn't believe that the robot
Yeah,
killed himself. You could see the doubt, but I think when he got in the van, he was like, yeah, he clearly modded it. That's why he was like, all right, man, we're
No,
gonna
but I'm
go.
saying, why would Josh think that they would buy this? That the robot was just like, oh, I'm going to shoot myself in the head.
I think it goes to my theory. Like we were supposed to, like Josh is not a well thought out person. Like he, like to even start with this plan, you could tell like you kind of slow. So now you get to this point. You get to this point where you're gonna try to sell these tech engineers. You're gonna try to sell them on the.
It sounded like bogus.
It sounded bullshit. That's why. Oh, okay, yeah. Like you mean to tell me your robot flipped out, killed everybody here, and then shot itself in the head? That's what you want me to believe? Cool,
but that
bro.
wasn't even part of the original plan, though.
What's that?
That he was going to have the robot shoot itself. The original plan was
He was just gonna shut it
down.
Yeah.
So it's like he was coming up with the plan on the fly.
He was because their plan was they were going to kill Sergey and then we're good.
Right.
Yeah. So now he has to figure this stuff out on the fly. You know, like as you said, I also think that there was definitely some resentment on the fact that this woman robot was outsmarting him and talking back to him and stuff like that. So he had to reassume the power dynamics in that relationship that he had also. But I'm with you guys. I'm like, bro, like that shit didn't make sense. But I think that he just got stuck and he just trying to figure out how to make the best of this bad situation.
Kept throwing shit on top of shit.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
That part works. You know, the fact that he really wasn't supposed to be very smart and he's just kind of figuring out as they go. But I just didn't. Yeah, the recording thing, I just didn't understand how he didn't bother to look that up.
Well, it could be, just to shoot him a little bit of bail, could be proprietary, and that is not publicly available. You know, but there are a lot of good reporters out here that tend to get a lot of information. So
I feel like a
could've
Google
leaked.
search would have revealed that.
Yeah, because if it's
So-
proprietary, why would the empathics guy just go in there and just fucking tell everybody?
Yeah, damn, you're right.
I don't know.
You're
I don't
right.
know.
Shit,
It's
he
not
could've really-
that big of a
Yeah,
deal, but it
damn,
just
never mind.
it was just hole on top of hole for me with this movie, and I was just like, all right, bro, this is getting kind of stupid.
Because when he said, it, I was like, damn, bro, you didn't know that? Like, it did feel stupid.
That's the first thing I thought is, how did you not know that, man?
Because he looked like dumbfounded.
Because I was thinking that the second it happened, I was like, oh, this thing is uploaded somewhere because you're renting the robot. You don't think they're going to keep memory of this?
Everything is logged.
I didn't think it
Everything is
had
logged.
cameras and shit.
I automatically assumed that anything that robot was seeing was getting recorded somewhere.
But that's like a privacy type of law or some shit.
Anything that you say around
feel
your
you.
phone is
I feel you.
recorded.
I feel
But that's
you,
why
but
they put
there's
it
no
in
privacy
the,
law.
They put it in the agreement too, though.
I understand that, but he didn't read the agreement. And it's
Right.
which is what I think people do in general. I think it was a representation of how people just not like, I'm not saying us in this room or whatever, but I think a lot of people probably just like don't read that shit.
I don't read it.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't really
even though
know
you don't
why.
read it,
Click
you
here.
have you know it's probably something in there that's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
So, but
absolutely.
some people, I don't think some people think about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all.
ChatGPT. Like, hey, can you read this for me and tell me what it means? Is there anything I
like,
need
no,
to
it's
know?
cool. It's cool, bro. Go ahead and sign it.
Yeah, go on sign
Go ahead
right
and sign
here.
it, dog.
Go on
ahead, bro.
sign the dotted line. Yeah. So.
All right. Well, as empathic leaves, Patrick kills one of them and then goes after the other. But while he's doing that, Iris is rebooting herself in the van, which leads to her telling Patrick that Josh has been lying to them and that he was actually in love with Eli. Pat then kills himself by shocking himself in the head. God, I'll start with Rod. What did you think about this?
Just all of it.
Yeah. Well, mainly about the reveal to Patrick and what Patrick ended up doing.
The reveal to Patrick, like I said, I that's why I want. That's part of the reason why I wanted to go back to that one part, because it seemed like he was in like a in a down state when his lover died. So I think he was holding on to that or whatever, and I think this showed that, you know, and it took another robot to like, yo, I know you feel things, you know how you say you feel pain and all that type of stuff. So yeah, I thought that was a good callback to, even though he's at 100% under this jailbreak thing, they're still trying to say that these robots have developed some sort of feelings or connections with their companion. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was an interesting thing, to the point where like I don't want to live no more. You know, it was like that type of deep love.
But that was it though. And that was the issue. Like, it was just like, oh yeah, you know, hey, this is what really happened. It's like, oh my God, I'm gonna kill myself. You're a robot. You're programmed. And he was reprogrammed to love Patrick, and he's overriding his program. You're right. They were trying to do that. It didn't work for me. It just felt way too easy for her to get out of that, and for the robot to just basically commit suicide.
Yeah,
especially after he reprogrammed him. Like, he's supposed to love Josh, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that didn't work.
That's how I felt too. It was like, okay, sure. I guess we're supposed to view, or I would view a reprogramming as you're wiping everything that was there and you're recording over it. But for Patrick to be able to still, once Iris tells him, remember bits and pieces of it, I was like, all right, I don't know how I'm digging this. It was convenient for the story.
Yeah, but that's what they're trying to sell with the movie, that they're not just like they're kind of, I guess, evolving in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like
he was an old robot though.
Maybe if he was an older model, that would especially
the pieces would save somewhere.
Because
possibly, yeah.
And why not seek revenge instead of killing yourself?
There was a case in Westworld. The older models were like that, could remember and stuff like that.
In the real world. Bro, I was about to say, what? Real world? Elon's robots and got loose?
Yeah, I mean, that might have been a little bit more interesting.
What would have been?
If Patrick went after Josh for revenge and somehow Josh was able to kill him, versus he was so emotional that he just shocked himself in the mouth with a stick
and died.
I don't know. It wasn't a huge deal, but again, by this point, I was just like, all right, this is starting to have a lot of holes, and I'm still enjoying myself, but I'm still just like, bro, this is a bit much.
Well, at this point, I was like, well, we at the end now, so
right.
Y'all can have this one.
Yeah, because I didn't like the end. I didn't like that.
Okay, we're about to get there. There's only a couple more scenes, but we're about to get there. So Iris has the empathist guy that she saved give her full self-control, and she goes back to the house to tell Josh that she's free of him. So, Spike, what did you think of what went down there? You know, the whole Josh beating her ass and throwing her around, and the fact that she could not kill him. What did you think about all that?
I didn't buy it, man. Like, I wasn't this mad at that part in the sense of the deep connection thing, like what Rod said. Like, it's showing that they had evolved, and that even though she had full self-control, that she really did love Josh, and she really thought that was like a real thing that they had. I would have preferred like her not being able to walk out of it because she had that like lack of being able to do that. I didn't like that sometimes the villain wins, and I feel like this is one of those movies where the villain should have won. Like, I wouldn't have been happy. Well, I wouldn't have liked Josh anymore, but I do feel like this would have been a better movie had he walked out of it. And he didn't die. She did.
Okay. All right. You feel the same way, Ken?
It was tough to watch this man toss this woman all around the room like that. You know, but
Kanye said that just happens sometimes.
Sometimes you just gotta smack them.
Yeah, that was a little bit rough. I don't know if they were trying to say something with that or not, but yeah, I think taking the previous scene that I had an issue with and coupling it with what Rob was saying is that's probably why they showed that and him killing himself in order to kind of emphasize or show why she couldn't do the same thing to Josh. You know, it's because the programming is much, much deeper and embedded in them, and that they're able to remodify their own code. Possibly, I don't know, but I think, you pointing out that connection, Spike, I could probably make that work. I'm still don't understand how she was able to kill him. What did she say to him when she did it? I don't know if you have a question about that.
Yeah, we're not that,
okay, cool.
We're not that part yet.
It was. I don't know if it would have worked better, Spike, especially after the way he abused the shit out of her. That would have been a lot.
Okay. Right.
Well, I kind of already said it with the Josh one, so it's the same sentiment with this. It made sense. It made sense that she couldn't kill him. It was tough to watch him throw her around and stuff, and but I just think that just added to him being the villain of this whole movie. Yeah. I didn't mind how it ended. I definitely like that last thing she said to him, which I'm sure Mike's about to say. But yeah, I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I think maybe I read a bit more into this scene, because just like with Barbarian, when you watch it on surface,
I haven't seen it.
I know I'm not gonna give any spoilers. I
yeah.
promise. You don't really pick up what the message is, and it actually took me a few watches before I was like, oh. Okay, now I see what y'all are doing and I fuck with it. With this one, I think this was their message moment. I think this was supposed to represent when she goes back in and she's holding the gun to him, but she cannot shoot him. It kind of is supposed to call back, women who are still in love with their abusers. This is a very common thing. Men always say, well, why didn't you just leave? Why didn't you just call the cops? And when the women were like, well, I'm in love with him, I love him, we're always like, I don't understand. That's crazy. But this is a very common emotional thing that women have. I'm sure men do if they're being abused as well, but I don't know much about that. I know more about the women's side. But yes, I think they were trying to make a point of women still being in love with their abusers, because when Josh is beating her up and he's standing over, if y'all remember, he's like, tell me I'm everything to you.
Yeah.
Which that sounds like something that an abusive husband would do. Beat the shit out of your wife and then still be like, tell me you love me. Tell me you love me. So I thought that this scene was extremely well done. But the next scene,
It happens with men too.
I'm sure it does.
Like, because you hear men like, oh, like you love a toxic chick. Like, that this chick is just not good for you. Like, she's all like, talks crazy to you, hits you, be like, you know what I'm saying? She not beating you up, and to the point where you gotta, it's just a toxic relationship. Like, and so I think it happens to men, but just in a different way.
I'm sure it happens to
mentally.
men. I just think the percentages are probably way off.
Yeah.
It's probably 70-30. But yeah, I'm sure it happens to men. I'm positive it happens to men, and men aren't going to report it because we're not supposed to feel that kind of thing.
Right.
So, but yeah, this leads to the one of the closing scenes. This is where Josh is about to shoot her in the stomach. And then she says, or he asks her if you have anything else to say. And she says, go to sleep, Josh. And then she stabs him in the head with the mechanical corkscrew.
That shit was dope.
That was a dope closing line. I wonder how he planned on getting out of there.
What do you mean?
If he had killed, because now you got the two dead logistic guys too.
He's gonna blame it on her.
Jeez.
He's gonna say she did it all, or he could even say that her and Patrick did it.
Yeah.
How was she able to kill him?
I think at that point,
It was
I
like
guess
survival,
what-
like
yeah. I that's why I assumed too. At that point, it was just like the robot doesn't have a choice. It's either I don't know.
She was, but she just took all of that, and he said that she couldn't kill him, but she was able to kill him.
But remember what happened in the scene prior with her and the empathics guy. Remember, he gave her full self-control.
Right.
So that's why she was able to kill him. Because
Why did she just shoot him the first time?
Because
just
I think,
to hammer home the message you were talking about?
I think that was supposed to be her working through, I spent all of this time being in love with you, and I have to let that go. But she wasn't ready to let it go until he actually abused her.
Right.
And she saw that he was,
And sometimes that woman eventually snaps.
yes.
And I think that was that moment. She was like, okay, it's either fight or flight.
Fight or flight.
It was a good line. It was a good line.
Yeah,
I was just
yeah.
like, wait a minute. I thought you were going to kill
It was a good line and kill.
It was a great kill.
So
Yeah.
real slow. That was dope.
Because you kind of see his eye going out too. Like, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, that was really well done.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and I also like the whole idea that he was killed by a machine using a machine. So I thought that was actually pretty dope.
Which makes them focusing on that corkscrew thing throughout the movie makes sense.
Yeah.
How he used it.
So yeah, so then it ends basically with her driving off, and she removes the skin from her hand, and then she waves at this girl that's in a car who's being fucking, we can assume, is being berated by the guy that's driving because he looks like he's talking to her like he's an asshole. I assume that woman that was in the car was supposed to be another robot.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
That's what I thought.
Or
too.
maybe this is supposed to represent her, I don't know, trying to save regular women. I don't really know. But
Oh, it could be that too.
one of y'all said you didn't like the ending. I forget who it was.
I
though.
did. I ain't like that.
Spike.
I ain't like
okay.
that.
So
I
what did you not like about the ending?
I just think sometimes the villain wins, and this would have been the perfect movie for that. To us walk away hating Josh, like I can't believe he got away with all that bullshit. And which, like you said earlier, what's she gonna do with the? Well, I guess she does need the money to live.
Yeah, because she can't get a job. She's a robot.
But Spike, I think there are many villains. So I think the villains are still winning, which is why I think she's going to be kind of like a savior almost. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I think, like Michael just saying, you can see the guy that was talking to her looked like a Josh.
Yeah.
So there's many Josh out there.
Gotcha. She was able to.
But the question is, do they have the awareness to know that they're robots? So when she waved at her with the little robotic arm, they
That
were like,
didn't even
hey,
register with her.
and it seemed like there was a sort of an awakening. It's like, wait a minute, what is that? So I have to add on a lot of stuff from here, but it seemed like definitely there's a revolution about to take place. So how's she gonna do it? Maybe
Definitely
take
a
the
sequel.
money and go back and come up with her own counter programming or some type of thing to wake up everybody else, and then we get Terminator.
I didn't mind the ending. I thought it was pretty cool because I liked the significance of her ripping the skin off of her hand and being like, okay, well, I'm comfortable with this. This is me. And then I like the idea of her driving and signaling to what we are supposed to be assuming is another robot and waving at it like you can be free too. I like the way it ended. I absolutely do not need a sequel.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna do a
they're
sequel.
making a part 2 of this.
I hope not, because they said the same thing about Barbarian and the director was like, nah, I'm good. This was just a one-time story. I don't need to see her going through life saving other companion bots. I just don't need to see that. Like, it's just gonna be a cheesy version of Terminator, and we're about to get part 2 of Megan. I feel like a part 2 to this would just be kind of overkill.
Yeah, the shock factor is
it's
gone.
over.
Yeah.
The sticker price is over.
They would
You
have
ain't seen
to
it
do
yet.
something else. I don't know what else they would be able to do to,
Yeah.
to
It wouldn't
shock
be
us
able
at
to
this
hold up.
point.
Now the
But-
strength in this movie is the reveal. I
Yeah.
think as it went along, it started to have some issues. But I think the reveal was so strong, you kind of overlooked them. I think Megan's easier to do a sequel with Megan.
Yeah, because it's easy enough to write because she's just a little Chucky doll.
right.
You don't need to build on any story. There was a real legit story here. Even if I didn't love it, I just don't see how they would follow this up. Because we already know she's a robot.
Yeah, that's the strongest part of the movie, like
Right.
you said, Ken.
Right. So I don't know. Overall, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a fun
I
time.
had a good time with it. It was just once it ended and I started thinking about it and I was making notes to do this review, I was like, that shit don't make any sense. That shit don't make any sense either. Either does that. But if you're just looking for a surface movie that has some good, like, oh shit, that's crazy, then this is definitely worth watching.
Absolutely.
Just don't overthink it like I typically do. But anybody else got any other thoughts? Are we good here?
I think we good, man.
Well, all right.
I think it's definitely worth a watch. It's
It's definitely
Yeah.
worth a watch.
100% worth a watch.
It's a fun, you don't have to think about it too
Right.
hard kind of movie. It's only an hour and 30 something minutes. It's worth it. So, all right, cool. Well, make sure you leave some comments on the Reddit page. Make sure you share this review with your friends and let us know what we should review next. And we will see y'all next time. We out. Peace.
Peace.